Look at how cool it flows like around like that. Now that was not expected. That just happened. What's up, guys? Xxiou from Xxiou Games back here once again, and we're talking about amazing recent features to No Man's Sky. So when I say recent, I'm talking like things that came to the game within the last 2 years. So these are things that you may or may not know about. If you've been away from the game for a while, you might not know about them, or if you're new to the game, you just might not have reached a point yet to where you found out about these things. Now, the first thing that I wanted to talk about is building, base building. Now, if you didn't know, back in the Frontiers update, we got a base building overhaul that totally changed the way base building works. It redid the menus. It changed quite a bit. New building parts. But one of the things it did do was give the ability to build, I think, better bases than we could before. And it's a little bit easier too for people who are maybe new to building the new base building, and it still works awesome for glitch builders. So you can just build amazing things. Honestly, guys, in my opinion, No Man's Sky has one of the best building systems I've seen in any game. And there is my freighter. So, freighters are awesome. Let's talk about that next. Alright, and here we are up in space at my freighter. So this is my ship. This is my capital ship. And all these other ships around it are frigates that I have that I can send out on missions. And they come back with loot for you. This is the newest one. This was a reward for the most recent expedition. It's like this living whale frigate. But so there's some special ones like that, but then there's just ones like this too. And these are actually pretty cool because if you didn't know, you can land on these. And you can run around inside them, and the captain will give you some loot maybe, or reveal historical data. But once you get into running these missions with the frigates, you're gonna have to every once in a while come onto them and do like some repairs, because they will break down until you get them kind of leveled up. But they have really cool interiors and stuff. Kind of wish they were in use a little more, but they're not. You can't build on them or anything like that. But every once in a while, when you first start doing these missions, they'll fail, and you'll have to call the frigate back. Okay, now let's board my freighter. This is an S-Class freighter. S-Class freighters are probably one of the most hardest, time-consuming things to acquire in No Man's Sky. They're just very hard to come by, unless you get super lucky. As you can see here in my freighter hangar, I can keep all my ships. Now, if you didn't know, you can have up to 9 ships. But that's not it, so keep watching, because there's a lot more about the freighter. Here's where you can upgrade your freighter, add storage, change the color of the freighter. Over here, you can interact with this, and this will take you to the galaxy map, and you can actually warp in your freighter, because the freighter's hyperdrive is huge. At least mine is. It's about 6,000, so it can warp all over the place. So, good way to warp if you're doing a lot of warping. Then on this side, this is where you can manage your fleet. So these are all my frigates that are here right now. Oh, we got a couple new ones. I forgot about that. We got to send those out on mission. So you can manage that, and you can also manage your squadron. Now, this is a newer feature. Now, what these squadron pilots do is anytime you get attacked in space, they're going to fly in and help you out. So you can put whatever you like in here. So when you find a cool ship, if you have an available slot here, you can just recruit the pilot to your squadron. And you can even give them specific ships. It's a little bit tricky, but there are ways to do it. As you can see, I have a living ship in my squadron. So these are pretty cool. I'm not going to say they're super helpful, but I think it's pretty amazing. It's pretty neat. Okay, and here we are at an Outlaw space station. These are super awesome. If you've not seen these yet, now in the Outlaws update, they put Outlaw systems into the game. So Outlaw controlled systems, and in those systems you'll find these pirate space stations. Now, they do basically the same stuff as a regular space station. Like, you know, there's a multi-tool cabinet in here, and a scrap dealer, and some other NPCs you can get stuff from. Like, this guy sells contraband, things like this. So this is stuff that you can buy in a pirate system and then sell in a normal system at a markup. But then you also got this guy who gives pirate missions. And these have some good rewards. But when you do these, you're going to lower your faction with the other alien races. But what you can get is this thing called like a passport. And that passport you can use in a regular space station at one of these machines. And it will reset your faction with the alien races. One thing you should know is you can't port from a pirate system to a regular system. So if I go to space station, see clearance not granted, but like this is a pirate system, so I can port to that one. The same thing if you were in a normal system, you wouldn't be able to port into the pirate system. So you need a base in a pirate system to be able to simply port to one. Okay, this is a Derelict freighter. Now, these came out in the Desolation update, and that's why we need that emergency broadcast receiver, because that's how you find these. And what these are is basically a space dungeon. It's a freighter that's been something bad happened on it, and there's monsters on it, and you can get a lot of really good loot in these. So you can get not only a lot of loot money wise and stuff like that, but you can also, this is where you get your freighter upgrades. So once you get a freighter that you love, you're gonna need to be running these a lot. But these are a little bit dangerous because there's no there's no heat. You got to turn these heaters on, and there can be bad monsters in here that can make it really tough. So this is not something you want to do, you know, if you're brand new to the game. This is something you do a little bit later, but they're really cool. So I just wanted to show them to you guys a little bit. So yeah, it's basically like, you know, there's these iPads around, and you can read the story. And the story's pretty much a little bit different on every one that you do. All of these Derelict freighters are not the same. Each one you do will be a little bit different. It's going to have a different layout. It might have a different amount of rooms. Might have different monsters on it and things like that. Things, you don't want to wake those up. Because if you do, these guys come out. And they're really kind of a pain to get them all. But Derelict freighters they have three terminals similar to this in it, where you can grab 3 items that you can then sell off to the scrap dealer at the space station. But really, their best use is for freighter upgrades, in my opinion, or getting large amounts of nanites. So yeah, that's Derelict freighters. They're really awesome. Really, really neat. Kind of has an alien vibe, you know? Another amazing thing is the planets. I have to talk about the planets for a minute. I mean, because the planets in No Man's Sky can be so incredibly beautiful. I mean, look at what this one looks like at night. I mean, I guess you maybe have to have you have to like this style of graphics, I suppose. But to me, it is just beautiful. Like this planet here, I have spent so much time just running around, exploring randomly, aside from building this massive base out here. But there's no shortage of amazing planets you could find in No Man's Sky. Just beautiful planets or very stormy planets, whatever you're looking for. There is one. Now, another thing that got updated is the caves. So some of you newer players or returning players may have never seen this before, but caves got redone a while back, and they are a lot cooler than they used to be. So it's definitely worth exploring the caves. I mean, some of them just seem to go on forever. You find yourself in like a whole underground world. Here's a little thing I built down here, but the caves are so much better than they used to be. Okay, and lastly, one of my favorite things in the game is ships. Now, if you didn't know, a new ship type has been introduced, which is the solar ship. Now, these are procedurally generated, so they could come in basically unlimited variations, like the other ships. These ships really shine in their maneuverability and actually hyperdrive from what I've seen so far. And they look really, really cool. I mean, look at this. Look at that. But these ships are really cool. They just got put into the game in the last update. So a lot of us have been hunting for them, looking for the coolest ones, coolest looking ones. But yeah, I've already found a lot of them. They're on my Discord. Check them out if you're looking for a specific one. So there you have it. Did you know about all those things? If you did, that's awesome. If you didn't, I hope you learned something new and are excited about it. If there's anything else that is amazing and kind of recent addition to No Man's Sky that I didn't include in the video, please leave a comment below and let everybody know so we can get like a list going of like just things that you would consider amazing in No Man's Sky, because this video could have been a lot longer, but I had to cut it down. So thank you all once again for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Really helps the channel. Your support has been amazing, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. So with that, I am Xxiou, and I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.